I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but we were staying at the Hidden Valley Caravan Park, and at the back of the park is an access track to the Murruma National Park. We took advantage of an early wake up and made our way along this track that intersects with the main walking track a few minutes in.
This is how good the parks are. They've provided a nice elevated walking trail for wheelchairs.
So we've started off on this trek up the chasm, and the first thing that we found, wallaby puff. So look out, we could find a wallaby on our travels. The rock formations provide shelter, and rock holes provide permanent water for plants and animals. These are used for food, tools and medicine, and cultural ceremonies continue to be performed at special sites within the park.
In the bar. So they strip the suckers.
So interesting, we found the boab nuts the other day and wondered what they did with them. Well, here's on this little nature walk, here's an explanation, which is great. So the local Aboriginal artists use nuts for carving. The pith within is edible and the seeds can be ground into flour. The trees lose their leaves in the dry, May through to September, when the fruit is on the branches, and then there's white flowers in the wet, December through to March, to attract the fruit bats at night.
So it's a young one that's peeling.
It's almost like it's peeling. Murruma National Park, often referred to as a mini version of the Bungle Bungles. It has steep, broken walls of colourful layered rocks that come alive as they reflect the tones of the changing light. The National Park covers some 2,600 hectares and contains these spectacular natural rock formations. The walk is almost divided into a couple of different parts. One takes you along a graded path with interpretation information on local plants. The other ascends to a lookout, giving you majestic views over Kununarra and the Arbor River Valley. Then it was back for a cook-up for breakfast. Well, we're here in Kununarra and not a winery to be found. And you know we all enjoy a wine tasting, right? Okay, there's a rum distillery, if I must. We have 7, 10 and 15-year-olds. So let's start with the 7. Yeah, you get to like that. I get to like that a lot. This is the 10. Yep, gets probably a little bit smoother. We're having it just with ice, so they're neat with ice. I'm going to go to 15 now while I've got the camera on. Same flavour, just a bit, I think it's a lot softer. Yeah, just goes to show, age, we get better with age, all of us.
Oh, funny man. Spiced, mango, aniseed, liqueured rums.
Can't see what's in focus. There we go, now I can.
Aniseed, liqueur rum.
We're going to see the black and green.
Yeah, I know, but this one's green.
But you're not supposed to drink that much of it, Ruth.
No.
The Hoochie Distillery is the oldest operating legal still in Western Australia. Built on a family farm just outside Kununarra, the small pot distillery was created entirely by hand. Everything from the still to the building itself was crafted from material found around the farm. Spike Dessert even taught himself to distill, with nothing more than a passion to make good, honest rum. Done. After the sampling, we headed to the sandalwood factory and shop. They had a video showing the process from planting, harvesting and production of the sandalwood oil and displays of what it can be used for. We browsed for a while before heading off for lunch. Well, we decided to treat ourselves, so headed to the Pump House restaurant for lunch. With views over Lake Kununarra, we could have very easily watched the afternoon disappear from here, I've got to tell you. But we had to prepare for our sunset cruise. The main pump station is an iconic structure built on Lake Kununarra and was once an integral part of the Arbor River irrigation scheme, although the pumps have been effectively decommissioned since 1971. The Arbor River irrigation scheme is now an agricultural area comprising of some 24,500 hectares of land under irrigation. Kununarra locals, Thomas and Dominic Brigg, finally secured a lease over the site in 2007. In September 2008, the Pump House restaurant was open for business, with much fanfare and excitement amongst the residents of Kununarra. Cheers from the Pump House. Here we are as we prepare to chase another sunset aboard the MV Jabberoo at Kununarra.
Body of the Arbor River. So it flows downriver that way out to the sea near Wyndham, and if we head back up that way 55 kilometres we end up at the Lake Arbor Dam and Lake Arbor itself.
Cheers. sunsets over the Billabong on the Ord River. What a magnificent afternoon. Well, here we are at the
Kimberley Moon
Festival. We got in. They let us in. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's a bit dubious.
But anyway, we're here. That's the main thing. And you just heard Jessica Malboy's going to be on later.
This is the Ord Valley Muster Kimberley Moon.
Yeah, so just fortunate enough to be in Kununarra for this weekend. So we've taken advantage and made the most of it. So we're down at the big park and we've got it all happening. Morning, Liz. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
I
Big 60.
Big 60.
Yes.
Special day today. After 4 days,
Yes.
we had 4 days in Kununarra and filled them in really, really well. From the day from the loop road that we did up to Spring Creek and then up to Parry's Lagoon and then back, that was sort of filled in a day. We did a walk behind the caravan park. We stayed
Which was the Murruma National Park. It was a great walk that we did. They call it the mini bungles. We went to the Ord Valley Muster, the Kimberley Moon experience last night, which was a concert that they had, hosting various local artists. And what are we doing today, John?
So today we are going to shoot up to Wyndham and spend the night up there. So we'll see what Wyndham has to offer when we get there, I guess. And we're going to stay. We rang the caravan park. They said there's plenty of room, so we didn't need to book. So we'll see how we go with that. Right, well, let's keep you updated as to what happens from here. When we were here the other day, there was a fair bit of burning off done, and you can see that they've done bits that are on the side of the road at the moment because it was quite green and fresh, so it's regerminated and done what it needs to do. Cool. Alright, we'll catch up with you guys later. So here we are. Oh, that's an obby. It's an etching or something, is it?
Yes.
How cool is that? Maggies Valley was named after Maggie Nicholson, who in the late 1920s was the first person to drive a vehicle into what is now known as Maggies Valley. From then on, the people of Wyndham called the area Maggies Valley. That's a
Very nicely done.
stunning etching, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here you go. They've just got a little board here that tells us, well done, you've arrived in Western Australia's most northerly town at the end of the Great Northern Highway. With 3,330 kilometres from Perth and 929 from Darwin. So we're going to spend the night up here and have a look around. We'll have to tow the van around for a little while, I reckon, because we won't be able to get into the park. But we might call by. Sometimes they let you in a bit early. Seem to up here, which is great. So how cool is that? These people are so accommodating up here. Like it's now, well, it was 9:30 and they've let us book in. So
Yeah.
we've just parked the van and we'll set it up this afternoon. So it's going to give us a full day of exploring, having a look around the area before we're even set up. We've been able to drop the van, so we'd have to tow it around all morning. So that's pretty cool.
And we have the map.
And we've got a mud map. Oh yeah, it's a mud map of the place. We just very kindly marked out a few of the must-do things. So we're going to sneak down to the port now and have a bit of a look around. And then there's a museum that's worth a look, she said. So we'll go and do that. See us then.
Yep.
This place would be awesome with a boat. There is so much to explore that's only accessible by water. The Wyndham port is the only deep water port between Broome and Darwin. It lies at the mouth of the King River on the west arm of the Cambridge Gulf, which is an inlet of the Joseph Bonaparte Gulf in the Timor Sea. The facility is a vital link within Northern Australia's primary and secondary industry supply chains. Exports did include live cattle, raw mined products from across Northern Australia and produce from the Ord River irrigation area. It's about a 6.5 metre tide today, and it's currently not quite at the bottom of the tide, so it's going to rip in this afternoon. You can see the leaves there, that's fair ripping out now. That boat there, I don't know whether that'll be floating come 4 o'clock. But I don't know whether we're back down here to see or not. It's pretty cool. Catch him going in the hole.
Yeah.
See if the crab coming out. Bloody big red crab. I haven't seen anything. There's bloke here and look here underneath the...
Oh, he's a big
Yeah,
guy.
he was
He's a big red crab. There you are.
what they called now?
Mud
Body
skippers.
mullet. Popeye mullet, it's called.
Is that what they are?
Yep. Yeah, it's good. You just catch him going in the hole.
Yeah.
See if the crab coming out. The historic port town of Wyndham was established during the Halls Creek Gold Rush in 1885. The place is steeped in history from the early explorers, the jetty, mining, the war, and the meatworks. There are many a story to be told. Honestly, you could spend hours in the museum. It's a real credit to the people that look after it. If you like big town entry statements, you're going to love the giant crocodile statue as you enter Wyndham. As you drive into this historic port town, you cannot miss the welcoming smile from the side of the road. The 20 metre long, 3 metre high concrete statue of this saltwater crocodile provides a novel photo opportunity. Whilst its size has been over accentuated, it acts as a great deterrent to anyone considering swimming in the crocodile infested waters surrounding Wyndham. We headed out for the Arvo as there were a couple of other things that we wanted to see. The mutual Arbor Dam was one. In Wyndham's early history, fresh water was pumped using steam engines from rock pools on the King River, and later years by diesel. These rock pools became turbid during each wet season and were not large enough to supply the demand. In 1971-72, the then Public Works Department constructed the original Arbor Dam. Tucked in these hills on the way to the dam, we found this area where there were some great examples of Indigenous art. Most of it is nicely protected from the elements, positioned under overhangs and on east-facing rocks. Whilst we were out this way, we also wanted to take a look at a very well-known boab tree. You all thought you were going to see a fall, didn't you? Yeah, so did I.
So this is where they put them. I don't know if you can see very well in here, but it's just this little opening. That's it. I'm going to back out right now. Yep, that's the prison tree.
Given we were as far down this track as we were, we decided to keep going and take a look at the start of the Karanji Track. The plan was to head down the King River Road, which in turn becomes the Karanji four-wheel drive track. Spend at least one night camped in the bush before making camp for a few days of R&R on the banks of the Penticost River. We would then head through to Lake Argyle, where we would meet up with the rest of the tour group.
Go talk to the policeman because the sign back originally said it was shut, so
unfortunately, the Karanji Track looks like it's closed. That's a bloody piece of... Doesn't matter. We've got a plan B. We can drive back to the Gibb River Road and head down towards Home Valley, and then where the Penticost crosses, we can try and access it from the bottom end, which is ultimately where we're going to camp for a couple of days on the banks of the river. But we figured we'd probably end up with one night bush camping. Oh, was it loose? No. We'd end up with one night bush camping on the track, and then the second, third nights would be at on the river. So who knows? So that seems to be the plan. Anyway, we're going to head up, catch another sunset here in Wyndham. On the next episode, we explore the area around Wyndham, see what it's going to take to tackle the Karanji Track, spend 3 nights camped on the banks of the Penticost River, and make our way to Lake Argyle ahead of the photography tour. Take care, stay safe, and don't let the dust settle. Till next time, cheers.
Oh shit. That was well done, John.
Also just drinking it.
Right, we have
Look, all paddle for it so you can see what's good.